name is Daniel Wyatt, and I am the senior instructor here at Dubspot for mixing and mastering. This is a continuation in the series of mixing tips. I have here a track from David Solano, who is from the Dayglow group in Miami. He's also a Dubspot graduate of the mixing and mastering program. And he has this cool electro track here. We're going to take a look at this track. We'll give you a little taste here. So it's a cool electro sort of drop there. And what we're going to do here is take a look at the proper use of reverb. A lot of people are confused about how to use reverb, and they sort of do it differently every time. And what we've developed here at Dubspot is sort of a method that you can adhere to that will work for the application of reverb regardless of the genre or the type of production. So one of the subtle things that we do, and it can be very, very subtle, but it's actually very profound, it makes things sound very pro, is to put a little bit of small room on all of the elements. And when you sort of bypass in and out, you don't necessarily perceive that there's reverb, but all of a sudden there's a bright sort of air that goes across the mix. Also creates a little stereo difference between the left and right channel, and this is how we set it up. So what we do here is we go to the mixer window, and there's a number of ways to do this in Logic, but this is just one of them, and this works well. And we go to this little plus sign here, which adds an aux channel. And we're going to add, eventually we add 4 of these. We use a sort of a 4 reverb system here at Dubspot, and we go into that in great detail on the online course and both here at the physical school. But today let's just take a look at using the small reverb. So if we add 1 track here, and we're going to use a stereo reverb, and we're going to make the input here a bus. So this is bus 1. And we will hit create. And the reverb track, the aux track, comes up here, aux 1. We try to stay neat and label things. So we're going to call this small room. On the insert of this channel, we're going to use a convolution reverb that Logic has, which is a space designer. And we'll talk also in great length in the course about convolution reverb and how that just changed the game of reverb in general. So this is Space Designer. And we're going to go here into the presets, and we're going to go for small spaces because we just want to create a little bit of air. We don't really want to create a sense of distance. We want things to remain relatively present, so we're going to use the small room. And we go to small rooms, and a very good small room here is the small wet room. It has the decay here, and it's 0.2 of a second is the decay. So we're going to choose that there. And then what we need to do is make it maximum wet, the reverb, just so that none of the dry signal makes it back through the aux track itself. So we're going to close that, and we're going to go to all the tracks, and we can sort of drag select across them like this. And we're going to go to these sends here, and we're going to see here that we have here as our send small room, and we're going to select that. Now the level that we're sending to the Space Designer, to the small wet room, is here in this little circle. And what I encourage all the students to do is to actually get into the habit of typing. Because even though mousing around is cool for finding sweet spots and sort of is touchy-feely, typing is very, very precise, and it's one of the methods that we use here in the mixing and mastering program at Dubspot. So what are we looking to do here by putting a little small or medium room on things? We're trying to create some stereo difference and some upper end harmonics, some air, as we call it, in the production. People might be concerned that you could make things muddy by putting a little bit of small or medium room on things, but the fact is that small or usually medium rooms themselves physically don't create a lot of bass because they are small. So there really isn't much danger in that. But if you're at all concerned about it, a really good practice is to go over to a high quality EQ, and of course we think that Alloy 2 is one of the highest here at Dubspot, and we'll go over to the equalizer, and a sort of a very basic setting would be just to take 2 dB down on a low shelf at 200. And if you wanted to brighten up the top a little bit, which is nice, or extend the top, we say, do it gently, half a dB at 10K, and you can actually type in 10 and K. Alloy 2 is that intelligent. And that typically works very well on reverbs. If you have sort of a bright synthetic reverb, you could go the other way and hush the top with a minus 0.5 dB. Just to reiterate, for those who are fearful that this is going to make things muddy, small and medium rooms don't actually physically create that much low end. So we're adding upper end harmonics and some stereo difference without risking making things muddy. So I'm going to click on the circle here, and a very good starting place for the send level is minus 25. So I'm going to do minus 25, and then it's going to apply that to all of the different sends here. Now, the only exception here is that we tend to put a little bit less small room on the low frequency instruments, on the kicks and basses. So we're going to find here these kicks, and we're going to actually dial this back to the half as much send level, which is minus 50. And here on this kick as well, minus 50. And here on the bass, we're also going to do a minus 50 send. So now our sends are all set up, and we can close this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn on and off the small room by muting it. This is one of the things that we do constantly in the mixing mastering program, is we use comparative analysis, because it's very hard for humans to perceive what you've done in terms of engineering without comparing it to something else. So we're always bypassing, using reference tracks. The comparative analysis is probably our strongest tool in mixing and mastering. So we're going to turn this small room on and off, and we're going to see if we can perceive the difference here. Go back to the build and top of that drop. This may be difficult to hear on laptop speakers, especially in a noisy environment, but all of the mixing and mastering techniques that we show, we really do recommend that you use headphones or have a good monitoring system, because this is an art of subtlety. And so what this is doing by putting everything in a small room is it unifies the mix psychoacoustically, makes everything related, and also adds some bright air, which makes the track extend into the room and creates a little bit of natural stereo difference from the stereo reverb. Adding a small amount of small room to all the tracks in a production creates a unity psychoacoustically in the mix and a relatedness in terms of the reverb of the track. Also gives the track a sense of commercial gloss without creating a washed out reverby sense of distance. This is one of the many tricks that we will share with you here at Dubspot's Mixing and Mastering program. Please stay tuned to further tips and tricks on our YouTube channel for the Dubspot's Mixing and Mastering program.
Welcome to Dubspot. We believe in providing you hands-on experience right away. Whether you're completely new to music and want to turn the sounds in your head into a musical reality, or you're an experienced artist looking to refine your skills and add new tools to your arsenal, we're ready to meet you at your level. For students of all ages, all levels, and all styles of music, Dubspot is here to help you achieve your goals. With course offerings both online wherever you are and at our school in the heart of New York City, we are ready to guide you through the next phase of your musical transformation. Whether you want to produce music, DJ, or do both, you've come to the right place. Come explore Dubspot for yourself. Become a part of our community and make music.